as we gab along here. Oh, William Carline is in
Hey,
here.
Bill.
And Florida. Well, I'm Kevin from, you know, what happened? I had said a hello.
You did, and you missed it.
It
I should.
disappeared.
I got to do mine too.
I wonder why it disappeared. Well, anyway, we'll gab on. We're not going to
Oh, no, it's
today.
there.
Today we've gone over and we're going to go over to Prosocial. And
Yeah,
so, and for those who are not familiar with the Prosocial matrix, uh, even if you're not familiar with the ACT matrix, whatever, they're very similar. Okay. The only thing, the ACT matrix, I mean, we would highly recommend that you just do the 4 questions. And the 4 questions of the ACT matrix, fill a hole up here in a second, are who's important to you, and you answer that, like
all right.
your wife, kids, those kind of folks. And then you ask something like, what kind of yucky stuff shows up inside of me, or what kind of yucky stuff might show up inside of me today. Some question like that.
Yep.
You write those questions in the lower left. There you go.
Yep.
So the lower left is where the yucky stuff goes. And the upper left, you say, well, what kind of stuff might I do to get relief from the yucky stuff? And we all do. If we're hungry, we eat something. If we got pain, we might take Tylenol or something. We're nervous, we might take a drink. Who knows? But there's all kinds of relief moves that we all do every day, many times a day. And then over in the upper right, the satisfaction side, we say, is just behaviors that you do in the service of your relationships with who's important to you. The short for that is sort of how do you move toward who's important to you. So you take your wife a cup of coffee, or give somebody a hug, or play with your pets and stuff like that. Answer those 4 questions and voila. There's science that happens behind that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just call it magic for right now. We're not going to worry about it. But a few years after that came along in 2009, early 2009 was when the ACT matrix showed up. And yeah, it showed up inside of my head. So that's where it decided to show up. I'm anthropomorphizing the ACT matrix. Anyways, then I needed it for some community work I was doing with David Sloan Wilson.
You were heading up to work with those guys, right? Up at
Sloan
Binghamton, New York.
And Steve Hayes and some other Tony Biglands, people like that. So I came up with the Prosocial matrix. I'm pretty lazy. So I just changed
cross lines.
I just changed one of the boxes, which is the lower right box. And so the lower right box became what's our shared purpose. So notice the switch, it goes from, who is important to you to what's our shared purpose. So now it's a we matrix. The previous one is sometimes called the me matrix because you're talking about me, yourself. And this one is now what's our shared purpose? What's about us and stuff. If there's 2 of you, that's a yes. That's an us, sorry. That's an us. If there's 4 of you, that's an us. If the classroom, that's an us. Boardroom, that's an us. All kinds of teams and stuff like that have literally used this. So it's on Wall Street. It's in the financial district of London. It's being used, folks. In those places and beyond, way beyond. And so it's simple. You go into a room, say a classroom, go with Phil's thing. You've got a classroom of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed students here. That was a joke, by the way. But, oftentimes they're not so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But anyway, nevertheless, you, the teacher, and this group of students can now discuss your shared purpose. What are we here for? And, you throw the matrix up there and well, the prosocial matrix up there, and you ask that question, what's our shared purpose? And so you have part of it. I'm here to teach you
Yep.
whatever, reading, writing, arithmetic, whatever.
Your kids may say, I'm here because my mom made me come to school.
Oh, I came here to get a date.
Yeah. I came here to see my friends.
See my friends, play, go to recess, whatever. And you go, okay, and you write all that down because that's your shared purpose. That's it.
Just like that.
Now everybody participates and writes down what's the shared purpose of the classroom. And so the kids know this stuff. They say, well, like there's yucky stuff that shows up. Even in doing this classroom thing, what might show up? Kid might say, well, I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, you do homework. Here's a classic. I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, and now as a teacher, they say that stuff. You just matter of factly write it down. It's okay. All things are good, and and they talk about being nervous, and I might even say they feel safer there, safer here than at home. Who knows? But it's yucky stuff that you're talking about in the lower left. In the upper left, of course, we get in. Now we're in the classroom. So what kind of behaviors might we do in the classroom to get relief? Hey, throw spitballs.
Leave.
Leave. Gossip, talk, get on my phone. Just right now, whatever they say. I mean, you're not judging here. You just you're the classroom's going, oh yeah, that's what this classroom is.
They're having a blast talking about relief moves.
They're just having a good old time, right? And then finally, okay, remember we got the shared purposes down there in the lower right. So what kind of behaviors might we all do to accomplish the shared purposes? And so the kids, they might actually go on the school thing and say, well, we could read, we could do our homework,
read, participate,
that kind of stuff. For the one getting a date, well, maybe I can
get an Instagram, get Instagram.
Just whatever it is, and just have the classroom write it down. And so it's not like that is some kind of finished product. Okay, we're not never we're trying to present that as a finished product. But what it's now doing is giving the group a bird's eye view, a big picture view of, and in this case we've been talking about, the classroom. This is the classroom. And it's quite explicit that we can add and subtract or whatever from this stuff at will.
Yeah.
Just anytime. So somebody might think of a new shared purpose that we're up to. Fine, we can put it up there. Somebody might think of more yucky stuff.
Yeah. Come up with a new relief move.
Some people might think, but these students, and they're pretty good, really.
Yeah,
they come up with upper right stuff.
Absolutely.
We might do this, to accomplish our educational goals here.
Yeah.
Now, Phil, he was in education for 30-something years, and I wasn't, but been around. What we can say is 99% of the time, no one wants to be illiterate.
Oh, no. I never met any student that did not want to be, successful on some level at school.
At least can do the old classics, reading, writing, and arithmetic, right?
Right.
Just at least the basics of those three.
So that you don't get ripped off on your paycheck, and you can read a contract. So when you buy a car or something like that, and
that kind of
they
stuff.
all know that they need it. They know they need it.
Yeah, and so they may not want to know algebra 2 or whatever.
No, they're probably not as interested in that. No,
but nevertheless, you can, but even in an algebra 2 classroom, you can say, what is our shared purpose?
Yeah.
And by the way, you as a teacher could say, well, I personally am here to teach you guys algebra 2. And the kids won't argue with that.
Oh, yeah. No. They'll say like, well, I'm here to get credit. And I need
it. I need that credit to
need the algebra 2 credit. So I'm here for credit.
Right.
Great.
So you just blah, blah, blah. And now you don't have to leave it up on the road, but there are teachers who do.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Leave it up on the board, leave it up on a whiteboard or something up in front of the classroom. And what that now gives you is the ability to, at any time, and now this is where it becomes a democracy a bit.
Right.
Anybody has the ability to raise their hand, so that's the teacher or the classroom, raise their hand and say, where are we on that diagram right now? So if the class is just, cutting up and having a good time, okay, where is that up here on the diagram?
Where we put that?
And everybody's got their heads down doing work,
Yeah, smell the wood burning.
Where is that? Where is that up there? You can anytime sort of take a break, and you can certainly start your day with it. And
that's the best.
That's a very popular thing in education.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
I mean, you say very popular within people who use the matrix.
Yeah.
To do that.
A lot from people. Yeah. Check in.
So if you've had any aha moments saying, well, couldn't you use that beyond the classroom? Well, yeah. I mean, I've literally been in boardrooms. I'm talking Wall Street kind of boardrooms, folks, and taught this and had people use this. And they had as good a time with it as the students, really. Because what's your shared purpose? Wall Street, make money. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. But they have yucky stuff. They have upper left stuff. They have upper right stuff. Talk through it, and then at any time, once a day, once a week, once a month, I don't know, whatever they decide, they can haul the diagram up and go through the process again. It's never written. It's always a work in progress, as with any of our lives. So that's how you do it. So I didn't want to bury the lead, as they call it. People go blah, 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 and they talk forever. That's how you do it.
Yep. Same process across
the board. I mean, as far as you, if you're being into this kind of consulting, you're good.
You know exactly what you're going to do before you walk in there.
Yeah, always. You wait when you wake up.
Yep.
And you go in there, you know exactly what you're going to do.
Yep.
And you also know there's almost a 100% chance it's going to work. Why can we say that? Well, we've had a few thousand.
Yeah, we've done it a few times.
It's in the thousands, folks. We've done it. And we've done it from pre-K all the way up to Wall Street.
Businesses, organizations,
manufacturing firms, sports teams, churches, sports teams.
Yep.
And
prisons.
Oh my gosh, yeah, prisons. Yeah, those were fun. Definitely. Community organizations. That's where it started. There.
Yeah.
So with all of those, people engage. And you say, well, what are you looking for? Okay, there is something we're looking for.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that.
Here you go. And this is it. So research-wise, in terms of like industrial organizational psychology kind of stuff, psychological engineering kind of stuff, you're looking for psychological safety. That's what you're looking for. Because about a half a library full of research in those areas show that the number one factor that sort of boils down to the sauce, of working with these things is really the level of psychological safety in a classroom, boardroom, team, or whatever.
Business,
That,
organization.
that's what you're going for. Now, it does you absolutely no good whatsoever to walk into the room and say the words, I'm here to work on psychological safety.
Yeesh.
We are not for a microsecond suggesting you do that.
Nope.
And we'll even tell you, chances are it won't work.
Yeah, it'll fall flat.
You might as well say, I'm here to have all of you fall in love with each other.
Yeah.
See how well you're going to do. I order you to comply. That was dumb. You're not going to do it. You need to draw them into an experience. And the experience we learned. Now, but this is not the only way to do it. We're not trying to say that. But this is one way to draw people into the experience. And you do it with the question, what's your shared purpose? And then people can discuss, they'll engage what that is. By the way, if you want to and you have enough time, you can start with the original matrix.
Yeah.
And walk in and say, hey, who's important to us? And we go through who's important. We can go do that. Whenever Phil and I have enough time, we do that first. Then we do the prosocial matrix.
Right.
With that said, there's times when people want us to work fast. And we only do prosocial in that case, if that's what we're there to do. So you can start with who's important to you, and then after you do that loop, then go to what's our shared purpose. Those are ways of engaging people into a structured conversation. Notice I said structured. We are not talking about just going in and shooting a breeze with folks.
Yeah. Right.
We're not. That's not what we're paid for. What we're paid for is the structured conversations that engage people and get them into a process that most all of the time results in an increase in the feeling of psychological safety. Meaning I can say things and not suffer repercussions for saying things.
People in this group have my back.
Right. And the simplest definition of psychological safety is that I can speak up and say things and not get my head bit off. That's the way we said it back in Oklahoma. I think it's said other places too.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're afraid of speaking up, you don't have psychological safety.
Yeah. Think about meetings you've been in where it wasn't safe to open up your mouth.
Personally, I've been in a whole bunch of them where I
sit down.
Yeah, doodle,
Doodle.
If I said something, I would get jumped on. And then you get in those horrible ones where there's no matter what you say, you're going to get jumped on.
Oh, yeah.
Those damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep.
So, anyways, this is about going into a culture and starting to shift that culture toward increasing psychological safety. The most succinct way I've heard a guy do this, and he was familiar with his work. He said, and he was a leader. He was the top dog. And he said, this is easy. Lead with love.
Mm.
He had it. That's it. He had conversation. And this was one of the ways he used to engage people in that. It's questions, it's structured questions specifically for, and we'll You know, one, what's our shared purpose? Two,
Mhm.
what kind of yucky stuff shows up inside of us when we're trying to accomplish that? What kind of things do we do to get relief? Quit, call in sick, check
Yep.
out, go on my phone, go to a water cooler, da 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 da.
Complain.
For the kid, can I go to the
Yeah,
bathroom?
right. Gotta go to the nurse. Got a stomach ache.
All of those things. Those are relief moves. And then we talk about, well, what can we do to share purpose? What can we do to make the widgets, to make the money, to do whatever, right? In the classroom to learn English or algebra or something, whatever. And
Reading.
so, and now this conversation keeps going. And if it keeps going enough, you can you can do psychological safety measures. I used to do this back in the day, and it'll kick them up.
Yep. You'll see an increase.
So that's what your target is. So if you want to have a target in your head, your target is, I would hope that in working with this group of folks, that I will increase, elevate, whatever you want to enhance their feelings of psychological safety. Operationally, that is, I get to speak up and not get my head bit off.
Yep.
And that's what you're up to. If you forget that, that's fine. Just don't forget the four questions.
Yeah. The safety will show up if you do the 4 questions.
Safety shows up whether you care,
Right.
whether you remember it or not.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, it's cool if you remember, but not necessary.
It's just a scientific term for talking about this stuff. If you're curious, the target of the ACT matrix, the me matrix, is psychological flexibility, which is the ability to continue to pursue gainful, goal-directed, however you want to say it, activities while having unpleasant experiences. So in ACT, it sounds like I can take my anxiety and go to the store. That's psychological flexibility. I can continue to choose behaviors, and that's how we say it, folks. If you're some strict behaviorists out there saying, well, you can't say choose, fine, you say that. But we'll say choose. You could choose behaviors. And it's as if you got more than one you can choose from. And that's psychological flexibility rather than you're locked in. You're stuck. The opposite of psychological flexibility is stuck. So, and of course, the opposite of psychological safety is, of course, unsafe. Leads to all kinds of bad workplace stuff.
Yep.
Stress, people quitting, all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, conflict, harassment.
So that's the big thing. We can go on and on about what's going on, what we and other scientists think are going on as people process those 4 questions. And hell, who knows? We might even be right about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make a hill of beans a difference. No. It really doesn't. The 4 questions engage people, get them in the conversation.
Yeah, get some curious, get some leaning in, participating.
We used to do that. We'd get people in the room watching, doing this, and as people do these, Phil mentioned it, they slightly lean forward. Yeah. They lean in. So you can see that happening. And people's shoulders relax. They relax down. And especially if you're new and you're coming in and you're some expert from out of town or something. They don't know what the hell you're up to.
No.
And heaven forbid they're going to make you do some warm-up exercise. Personally, I hate those things.
Let's all go around the room and say what our whatever is, right?
Yeah, what your deep dark secrets are. Or something. Right. Exactly. Say something that nobody knows about you.
Right.
whatever. Uh, Guaranteed, they're called warm up exercises. They're hit or miss, to say the least. Uh, and But what we're here, our warm up is, hey, what's our shared purpose? Or if you want to start with the other matrix, hey, who's important to us? I'll start. My wife's important to me. And people go, oh, so his wife.
I can do this.
Say, my son, my
yep.
daughter.
Yeah. My friends, my
pets, my dog,
colleagues.
So anyway, you'll notice as people engage with that, they brighten up, they engage. Yeah. They go, oh, this person's not so flaky.
Yeah.
They're ready to go. So do that. So your target is, but honestly, folks, we really are, Phil and I know in the back of our heads, we're wanting to increase psychological safety.
Yeah.
We keep that in mind, I guess. Tell you, God's honest truth. You start this and people take off.
Yeah.
It's real easy. Yeah. What would get in the Jasmine. So Jasmine, what would get in the way of one of you out there going into a classroom or a boardroom or a team, or whatever, and asking this, starting off right away? Now we're serious about that. We don't even introduce ourselves.
Nope.
We just pile right into it. Hey, what's our shared purpose? Or hey, who's important to you? We pile right into that and go. And then we have people that get a hold of us and they say, well, I haven't gotten around to doing that yet.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable starting that way, huh?
How do you start? Well, I gotta say my name and my background, my credentials.
Show a few slides.
Oh yeah, we don't have any slides. We don't have any, and so how do you not have slides? Like, is this a trick question?
Really?
We don't have slides. We don't have them. Why would we need slides? We got 4 freaking questions.
That's it. Yeah. I remember our target, right?
And people will love you for the no slides.
Oh yeah.
And so it's fair. I'll tell you what, it's fair. You're afraid of doing this.
Yep.
I don't know why, but it might be. And so the only way, it's just like getting on a roller coaster and going or whatever. Just the classic whiteboard. Oh yeah, that's what we do with the whiteboard. We started with chalkboards, by the way.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and then switched to whiteboards. And but if you don't have any of that, sticky notes, those flip charts
flip charts work great
on easel, that works great. Anything we do recommend you do
tag paper, whatever. Right.
We recommend you do put it up.
Yeah.
I have had a couple occasions when I couldn't. Still work, still okay. But if you can put it up, yeah, that's it. So you say, well, what else might you do? Go back to what our presentation is after you go around and get everybody doing it with you up on the board, they go, oh, what do we do next? You folks do it.
Yeah. Audience participation time.
So what do you mean? Well, what I mean is you take a piece of paper. Obviously, you've made sure they have pieces of paper, legal pad or whatever, or just go steal some paper out of the copy machine. I've done that lots of times, or at least one of the participants went and stole paper.
There's usually paper laying around somewhere.
There's paper laying around, but it's funny, Phil, isn't that? If you have a copy machine, you go, I know where paper is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I gotta go get it out of there. And now you say, show it to each other. and it's not hard. It's up here. So
Yeah.
you look up here and you see the questions.
Draw cross lines. There you go.
And
Find a partner. Partner up with somebody.
partner up, and then you show each other. So
Take turns.
Yeah. So first one person shows it, and then second the next person does it, and go back and forth. And that's after that. We don't care.
You're done. You're done.
You've
Mission
actually,
accomplished.
yeah, your mission is accomplished. So nice thing about this is that this is not built for a day long presentation or something. 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah. A couple hours is fine.
That's what you're looking for. I mean, if you need to do a day long, get a hold of us and we'll teach you how to do.
Yeah, we can walk you through some.
Then you got to put in all kinds of bells and whistles.
Yeah, some little bit of extra stuff here and there.
To do it. But as far as the consulting with a classroom or a boardroom or something, 15 minutes to 2 hours, you're good.
Oh yeah, you can get it all in.
You get it all. And in 15 minutes, you might not get the people showing it to each other. 30 minutes, you get it. Hour, piece of cake. 2 hours, you'd be goofing off. Your job is to get it started and then sit in the corner and drink coffee or tea or whatever you want.
Whatever beverages they have there for you to drink.
Water or whatever, right?
Yep.
But you're doing well when they take off with it and they're doing it. Because that's the way it only works, folks, if you leave and they keep using it. So if you show up with 150 PowerPoint slides, they're not going to keep using whatever you gave them. That's not what it's about. It's engaging. Then you will hear back. You can schedule to see them in a month or something. If you have that opportunity, somehow hear back from them. And hopefully they kept using it. If you're thinking to yourself, how could I make them use it? The answer is you can't.
Yeah. Don't even try.
We don't expect anybody to keep using it. That would reduce our psychological, both of our flexibility.
Oh yeah, we would become much more inflexible at that point.
Right. If we had,
and it would be less safe at the same time. Right.
It would be less. So we don't do that. We don't have the expectation that anybody's going to keep doing it. No, part of that now is because we know a majority will, but it's by no means all. No, all classrooms, all teams, all stuff, they don't all pick it up. But a lot do and use it. And then they will tell you, why, my goodness, this is really cool. This really works. And I've heard back from them that do it in their morning meeting. They have whatever it is, they have a morning meeting, like a classroom,
Yeah, definitely morning meeting.
Or with a team or whatever, they might have a morning meeting and they just go through it in their morning meeting. Start the day that way. So works just fine.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, people will be noticing where they are on the diagram. And that's what you're doing, is noticing. So the psychological safety or psychological flexibility is really replaced with noticing. So you notice shared purposes, you notice yucky stuff, you notice relief moves, you notice satisfaction moves. You just notice all of that stuff. And you're done.
Yep.
So I would invite you, Jasmine. I'll pick on Jasmine. I haven't got to pick on Jasmine. I would invite you to go to some local thing. Do it for free. If you can get paid for it, that's fine too. But if you can't get paid for it, do it for free and show it to folks. Kiwanis Club or whatever, if you can, if you have a classroom. Yep. have it. It's a cool
Library.
thing. That library, those kind of things. You know, all kinds of things going on where they're looking for a presenter for.
Chamber of Commerce. They're always looking for people.
Yeah, I would like that. Tell them I have a way of I have a way of engaging people that can increase psychological safety.
Yeah, I do it every day with whoever. There you go. That's the best way to.
Yeah, so do Phil and I.
Yeah, that's our path these days.
That's how we do it. We just nonchalantly do it with whoever. But yeah, you can, and it's sort of. I wanted to tell you, folks, it can be quite rewarding
Yeah,
to go doing the free gigs, and sometimes the free gigs lead to paid gigs.
yes.
But if you try and trap yourself into that, you'll lose psychological flexibility. So we would just do the free ones. Be good. We go for that.
Lightly.
Yeah. Hold all this stuff lightly. That's Steve Hayes talking.
Yep.
All lightly. And you'll have a blast. But that's how you do it. That's the prosocial matrix, which is simply the matrix with the new question: what's our shared purpose? For a classroom. Literally, we've seen it down in pre-K.
Yep, got it down in pre-K.
Got it down to pre. Took some pictures, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we were using pictures and objects and stuff like that. We were rocking and rolling. Cars.
Well, I'm more all the way to Wall Street and the financial district of West.
Same process. The same process.
We don't have to change it.
Yeah, it's great.
Where's those Wall Street folks? They're nothing but a bunch of pre-Kers anyway. So it's really all of us adults are.
Yep.
We think we grow up. We really don't.
Nope.
Not really. And so it's the same process. So now you don't have to remember anything except the 4 questions.
Yeah, you want to get them down. You want to practice them a bit.
You got to practice that. You got to practice. It's not going to take very many times. Takes a few, and you practice it. Now you know it. Now, at any moment, boom, you can show either, and we're flexible. So if we can, we do both loops. We call them loops. So the first me loop and the we loop. But if we can't, we just do one loop, whichever one we need. Go for it. But it is friggin' fun. So have a blast. Go find somebody, play with it, or show it to your spouse or friend.
Your nearest important person.
But a shtick that I do sometimes, it'll be something like, what do you do? And I'll say, I'm a, I could say psychological safety expert. So, well, since we're on Prosocial, we'll say that. I'll say, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a psychological safety expert. I teach, classrooms and boardrooms and such about being more psychologically safe. Guarantee, folks, anybody you say that to, you got their attention.
Oh, yeah. You're going to go, oh, wow.
Because you got like an 80% chance that they don't feel safe where they
live.
No kidding. It's really bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so now you're in. You can show it to them. They'll say, well, how do you do that? Well, let me show it to you.
Let me show you.
What do you mean? I can show it to you in like 90 seconds. It's really not hard. The reason we like to do that is it gets it out there. It's another person out there. Cool. So if you get a chance, do that. We do YouTube things. This is connected to YouTube. So when people will watch it, they'll see it. More people will get the hang of it. Hasn't become what we say Taylor Swift level viral
yet. Not there. Not quite there yet.
We're like 1/10,000th of that. But we just keep plugging away, maintain our own psychological flexibility and safety. And like Jasmine does, do it again tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there you go. Jasmine's using with her facialist and
Will
Bill. Yeah,
wants to do my playback theater improv. Now, okay, now you know Bill, maybe you don't. I have a guy down here in the state of Maine who has an improv troupe that,
mm-hmm.
that will do this. This is
Mm-hmm.
improv, and so it's highly related to improv. So Bill has William has noted that,
Right.
or Bill. And yes, if you want to do it with your improv group, go show it to them. They can improv with it.
Here, let me show you a great improv tool.
And it is. Voila, you can have a blast. I have made these almost into comedy performances. No kidding, folks. And filling out a matrix and prosocial matrix of a group of people. This pretty well, me and them included, have been about rolling in the aisles. Crazy ass stuff we come up with. Have fun with it. Stay loose. So yeah, show it. I wish to show it to anybody. Have you had? I mean, I haven't had anything where anybody said, "I wish you hadn't shown that to me."
Now, I've never come across anybody that said that to me.
Never had it. We don't do it that way. We didn't show
No.
it. People go, "Oh, thank you very much." And you notice our take it or leave it attitude.
Yeah. If they don't like it, that's okay.
Okay. Also, would you go show this to X? Our answer is yes. As long as they're not pointing guns at us and stuff. We're not going to go into a dangerous
You have
situation.
to draw the line there. Yeah.
But as long as there's going to be people, sure, we're going to show it to anybody here. Not even very, I want to do it by, not even with the tough kids love this stuff.
No, they took to it. They were great with it. They thought it was fantastic.
They get it. They get shared
Yeah.
purpose. Almost anyone I've talked to gets it. Gets shared purpose. They get it. No, it might be antisocial, social paths and stuff running around. Yeah,
There's a little bit of that running in the background.
there is plenty of that. We're not going to worry. We'll see how that gets taken care of. So there you go, folks. A longer presentation. We hung around. We got quite a few people on today.
Yeah. Thanks
Nice
for joining up.
Nice seeing everybody. Nice talking to folks.
Yeah.
After we went through our series of brief ones. We told people before it was just to get titles up on YouTube. So who's important to you is the title. What's your yucky stuff? The title. People read the YouTube title, they answer it. We did our job.
They're doing it.
This one a little longer. How to go about doing this. It is easy to do. It's very easy, rewarding stuff to do.
Easy and rewarding.
Cool stuff. Okay. Anything else, Phil?
No, that's it. We went from the classroom to the boardroom today.
We'll do something on Friday.
Yeah.
We haven't thought about it yet.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this till yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday morning. Afternoon.
Phil and I always know stuff's going to show up.
Yeah, we count on it.
Show up. Something will show up. And I have a great guy. And unless one of you wants to email and say, I'd like to see X, that's fine too.
Yeah. If you've got a burning desire to have us do something, let us know.
Let us know. Other than that, we'll just be hanging around in the summertime.
Yep.
Because if you're watching this sometime in the future, Phil went away. Oh, no. We lost Phil. Maybe he had a power outage or something. But if you're watching this in the future or something, this is summertime where I am in Maine and where Phil is. So you guys Take it easy. Oh, there's Phil. You came back.
Kicked me off. I had a hasty exit, but I'm back to say, yes, everyone, enjoy your summer.
The internet is that way. Sometimes it kicks you off.
Yeah.
We will have you have a good week too, William. Stay cool down there in Florida.
Take it easy, everyone.
Okay. Bye bye.